The KRGS Doors Show, proudly brought to you by KRGS Doors. For all your shopfront roller shutters, roller grills, folding closures and bifold doors, visit www.krgsdoors.com.au. Welcome to the KRGS Doors Podcast. I'm your host, Drew Blackman. The aim of our podcast is to talk to cool people with cool stories, whether it be our suppliers, customers, staff, other business owners, or people from different walks of life, and get to know them a bit better. If you're interested in coming on, drop us a line or email, or connect with us via Facebook, and we can have a chat to see what we can do. Today on the podcast, I'm joined by KRGS Doors Managing Director Clayton Blackman, and we chat to Josh Moss. Josh was a contestant on Series 1 reality TV show Love Island Australia. Running third in the show, he did find love with Amelia, and they are the only couple still together. Josh is your typical knockabout bloke, not taking life too serious. He tells us how he got on the show, what impact social media has had on his life, and how he puts up with the haters. Please welcome to the podcast, Mr. Josh Moss. Josh, thank you very much for coming on the podcast. What is the Josh Moss story?
Well, first of all, thank you, boys. It's an honour to come on the podcast. I've known you lads for a little bit of time now. Obviously, Clayton's one of my coaches, and he told me that if I come on the podcast, I get eternal selection in the top team. So I hope that he holds that end of the deal.
This is all news to me. I haven't heard this one. Wasn't in negotiations.
I'll back you on that, mate. That's fine. You got my vote as well.
We got it on video, so it counts. Thanks for having me, boys. So the Josh Moss story, I'm not sure if you guys know, but I was on a TV show called Love Island in 2018, which is sort of what I've become, what helped me, get a bit of spotlight and get a bit of a name. Which was such an amazing, time of my life, and it was really, really good. But before that, I was actually training to be a personal trainer. So I was doing my studies, and I was actually very, very close to finishing until I got the call from Love Island, and it was one of those moments where you either take a leap of faith into the unknown, or you stick with the safe option, and you can keep doing what you want to do. And I was actually pretty content with choosing either option. I was actually pretty excited to get into personal training because it's something I've always been passionate about. And then Love Island was something the unknown, and I decided to go with something a bit risky and unknown, and that was Love Island. It changed my life massively. Like I couldn't have done a more of a 180. So I did Love Island Australia for 8 weeks, and yeah, it changed my life massively, and it was definitely one of the best things I've ever done. So
you did last 39 days, mate, on Love Island, and I think you finished third, I believe, looking at the records. How did that whole situation come about?
So I applied for the show. So it's actually a really weird, crazy way that I found out how to apply for the show. So I was going for a walk, and I listened to a podcast, and one of my favorite podcasts, like a sporting podcast, they were all, for whatever reason, they didn't show an episode that week, or I'd listened to all the episodes, and I was like, I've got nothing to listen to. So I just scrolled the top 10 Australian podcasts, and I just clicked a random podcast I'd never listened to, and I was like, I'll just give this a crack. This will be all right. And then halfway through the podcast, there was an ad, and it said like, "Oh, are you single?" And I was like, "Oh, tick." It's like, "Do you want to go to Europe in Australian winter, and do you want to travel to do a European winter?" I was like, "Tick." It's like, "Do you want to meet a load of hot single girls?" I was like, "Oh, tick." And it was like one of those moments where I was like, fuck, I can't really see a negative here. So they told me, like, in the ad, it said where to apply. I went home from the walk, and I went on my computer and just started filling in the application, and I didn't hear anything back for 3 or 4 months. And I was like, whatever, it's probably just not going to happen. My application was crappy or whatever. And then after 3 or 4 months, I got an email saying like, "Oh, can you please send in a video, like talking about yourself and your dating history?" And I was like, "Oh."
You must have struggled with that, Mossy, did you? You must have struggled doing your own video talk. Pump your own tyres up.
So,
you must go, shit, how am I going to put this together?
I know. I don't have any confidence to do it. Anyways, did the video. First time I did the video, halfway through my house, because I did it in my housemate's room because he's got the better lighting, boys. It's all about lighting these days.
Oh, wow.
And then he walked in halfway through, He's a tradie, and he was like, "What are you doing in my room with a video camera?" It was so sus for me, and I was like, "Oh, nothing. I was just sort of having a look like at your room. I really like it. Like I want to style mine like yours." And he was so, and I almost pulled the pin there. I was like, "No, this isn't for me. Like I can't do this." Anyways, next day, he was out at work, filmed it, sent it in. I got a call back the next morning saying, "We want you to come in and we want to have a chat with you, the casting agents and stuff." And then I kept getting through the levels, I guess. And then as I kept getting through, I gained in confidence. And then next thing you know, it's just all happening. It was 1 minute you're just a random filling in an application, and the next minute you're doing all these crazy things you never thought you'd do.
Like Drewy said, mate, you ran third, mate, but I thought you should have won it. Like you shouldn't have got the bronze.
Means more than winning anyway. That means more than winning anyway. You should have won, Clayton. So thank you, mate.
How long was that whole process? So from application to actually getting on the plane and going over to Europe, how long was that process?
Mate, it was so long. It honestly felt never ending. I would say from the time I filled in the application to the time I got on the flight to Spain, it would have been 9 months, 10 months.
Wow.
It takes a long time because there's thousands and thousands of people applying. They've got to try and weed out. Sure, got to try and find 10 people to come on. So it takes so long. It felt never ending. Like by the time I actually got on the plane, I didn't even I was just ready to get on there. I didn't even care anymore. Like I didn't even care what was going to happen. I was like, I've done all this stuff. Like I just want to get on and just.
Did you stay in Spain, mate, afterwards, or did you come home straight after the show? What was the go there?
Yeah, so I was trying to do I was trying to see if they could let us stay in Europe for a bit and check out Mykonos and have a bit of a party, but they wouldn't let us do it because we had to go home and do media stuff. So the day that the show was over, we stayed 2 nights and then we came home on the third morning. Yes, it was pretty quick. We didn't get to see much of it.
So was that the same, and you may not know, but was that the same for the previous contestants that had left early? Were they voted out and then they had to go as well?
Pretty much you would only stay. The thing is with our show is it's aired 8 hours later, so you can't come straight home. You have to wait till the episode airs, and then they send you home pretty quickly. So yeah, I reckon that would be the same with the season 2 as well, is that they once you get eliminated, they don't give you your phone back until the episodes come out in Australia. So
you would have struggled without your phone, mate, wouldn't you?
Well, they actually gave us a phone in there that it wasn't connected, so it was just a phone that could receive text from the producers, because I don't know if you guys remember the show. I know Clayton was watching it religiously, but I think my poster's stuck on his wall. You got to take that down, mate. But we were in there and we had to say, I got a text, and so they gave us our own phone, but it could only receive text from the producers telling us that we've got a challenge or there's going to be an elimination or, whatever it was. And we could take photos on the random phone that we all had in there as well. So we all had our own phone, but it couldn't actually access the internet or anything.
I'm sure some of them photos would be quite interesting going back through now, looking at them from all those contestants.
Yeah. We're an interesting bunch of people. So, those photos would have been... I'm glad they never resurfaced, to be honest.
Knowing what you know now, would you do it all again?
Yeah. If I were to go back in time, yeah, I would. It was honestly one of the best things I ever did with myself. Not only because of what happens after it in terms of your profile and that, but I actually learnt so much about myself because, when I was in there, some of the things that we had to do, if you had told me that I would have to do them before the show, I would have just told you there's no way. There's no way that I would be able to do some of the things I did. But I just literally went into it with the attitude, I'm going to give this 110%, and not, be self-conscious about anything. And if people give me shit or people think I'm lame or whatever, I don't really care. I just kind of do what I want to do and I back myself. So I learnt that if you give it something 110% and you have confidence, that you're only going to grow from things. So that's what I learned a lot about myself in there as well. So
you didn't have to go on Love Island, mate, for us to put shit on you.
That's true.
Now, just going back, you said you're a PT or training to be a PT and you were nearly finished. Is that something that you'd look at completing in the future?
Yeah, I mean, at the moment, like I'm still like trying to get involved into the media side of things, and I feel like that the personal training thing is something I'm definitely still interested in, and something I'm really passionate about, and I try and stay fit and healthy every day. And it was one of those things where you're kind of helping someone in an industry, and I feel like that would have been really rewarding. So it's definitely something that I'm like thinking about that I would still like to do one day, but at the moment I'm kind of like focused on trying to forward something in the media. And I felt like if I was to go back to personal training, it would almost be like I'm pushing the dream of getting involved in the media side of it. So I want to try and really go full speed into that. And then if that doesn't really pan out, then it's something I definitely consider, yeah. Sure.
How's those media opportunities going for you, mate? Apart from the KRGS Doors podcast, that's probably number one, your priority?
Well, mate, this is the pinnacle. I've reached my goals in the career in the media industry, mate.
Fantastic.
Another one of those boxes ticked.
Yeah.
That's ticked, mate. Yeah.
This will be on your media resume.
Your show reel.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's good, mate. It's a really tough industry, you know. Like, it's either you've got lots coming in and you're really busy and you think, wow, this is going to be like, I'm going to have too much work. And then there's lulls where it's like there's not much happening. It's one of those funny industries that you've got to just keep plugging away at. And you can't get yourself down in the dumps if it's stagnant, because that's just all part of it, you know. But yeah, there's still quite a bit happening at the moment. You know, obviously Corona has stopped a lot of work stuff, but yeah, it's one of those things that you either got lots of work and it's all coming in, or it's kind of stagnant. But yeah, I mean, it's still going pretty good, but I just, you know, I'd like to lock in some sort of really stable media gig, it's really, really hard, you know. I thought coming off the show, like, you know, you just walk into anything, you can get it, but it's not. It's like a lot of those things is a lot of hard work and connections and really doing your best to make a mark. So, yeah, it's going well, but I'd like to have locked something in long term.
Just going back to Love Island, you may have finished third, but you did find love on the show, and you are still together with your lovely partner, Amelia. And I believe not too many from that show are still together. Is that correct?
There's no one that's together from our series. So our series, we're the only ones still together. And I think series 2, there's only one other couple as well. So, yeah, we met like, my mum said to me, Josh, do you seriously think you're going to meet a normal girl on these particular shows? And then, you know, I said, yeah, I think I do. I think I'm honestly going to meet like a normal girl, which was crazy because there's so many Fruit Loop people on there. But yeah, we're still not me though. I'm the exception. Yeah. We're still together, and we've been together for almost 2 years now. So it's just crazy. It all happens so fast. You know, one second I'm, you know, doing my own thing, I'm single, and the next second I come out and I'm in like a serious relationship. So it all happens so fast. But yeah, we've been together 2 years now. It's going really, really well, and yeah, I guess we're almost the last one standing. So yeah, we still don't get that number one prize though. So.
Well done, mate. What's so you want to make an announcement on here? Like, there's a chance of an engagement, or you I mean, well,
exclusive
on this podcast, exclusive interview.
Yeah, about the upcoming. Is there something we can discuss, mate, or what?
No ring at the moment, although you won't stop commenting the ring emojis on my photos. So thanks, mate. You're really setting me up there for failure.
I'm just putting the pressure on you, mate. That's all.
He is consistent.
Yeah. No major announcement yet. We're just, you know, at the end of the day, we're just still young, you know, two younger people in a relationship, and we don't want to rush things and try and move things at a stupid pace just because, you know, we're in the public eye in a relationship. We don't feel the need to feel pressured into doing anything. So we're just taking it at our own pace, and we're going, you know, obviously really, really well, but we try not to buy into the pressures of, you know, public relationships.
Good on you, mate.
100%,
Good on you,
mate.
Good
100%.
work.
Now, was Amelia Sydney-based? You're Sydney-based, so was she Sydney-based on the show as well? Yeah,
so she was living in Pymble, but she's originally from the Central Coast. So she's from Horsfield Bay, which is kind of near Terrigal. So she's based in Sydney, and obviously I've been in the rough streets of the eastern suburbs my whole life. So, yeah, both Sydney-based.
That makes it a lot easier as well, so that long-distance stuff. doesn't
Oh,
work.
mate, I don't know how it works. Honestly, I don't know if I could do that. Like, there was everyone else on the show was from different states, and like I was on there thinking, like, they were like, yeah, I'll move to like Perth or I'll move to Melbourne, and I was like, far out. Like,
Mate, you're flat out getting out of the eastern suburbs.
I only know the eastern suburbs. There's nothing else in Sydney, is there?
I know. When we play footy at Parramatta or Penrith, like, you've got to get a passport.
Yeah, mate, I just put on the GPS. I wouldn't even know where I am. I'm just following someone telling me where to go.
Now, you mentioned Clayton comments frequently on your photos on Instagram. You are quite popular on Instagram. Between you and Amelia, you have 492,000 followers. Can you be classified as a social influencer?
I guess, yeah. I guess I could be classified as a social influencer, but like, I don't really see myself as just a social influencer. Like, I like to see myself as someone who can offer more than just putting up a photo, you know, without any personality or any beliefs and stuff like that. So I guess technically we'd be classified as social influencers, but, you know, we don't really just see ourselves as someone who is that. You know, we think, you know, Amelia does like YouTubes and stuff like that. Like, I've worked with Channel 9 and stuff like that post-show, and we would consider ourselves to be a little bit more in social influences, but I guess technically we are. So, yeah.
Mossy, why would your father be ringing me during the interview?
I have no idea.
I'm not sure.
Maybe because
I think you guys...
I'll send him a text message. I'm in an important meeting with your son.
So just on that, mate, on that social side of things, you are an ambassador for some companies since coming out of the show. How does that whole process work? Do they contact you? Do you seek them out? What's the scenario there?
Yeah, so basically when I came off the show, I met with a few management companies, and I'm with a management company now, and like, so they handle or he handles like all that side of things. So yeah, I'm an ambassador for Huawei industry. I've done stuff for Cotton On as well. I'm currently working with Johnny Walker, the Scotch. So
nice.
Yeah, so basically he handles all that sort of side of things, and I think if a business or a company sort of likes what you stand for, or like who you are as a person, or think you'd be a good representation of their brand, or whatever it is, they get in contact with your manager, and then he irons out the deals. So yeah, I'm not really like ironing out like any of the ambassadorships or anything like that, but he will say to me, hey mate, like, what do you think of you know, whatever company it is, you know?
Has there been, and you don't have to mention any names, has there been any companies that you have turned down that you don't feel they fit your style or your personality?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, there's been a few, you know, like, and it can be anything, you know, like if you don't like what the company stands for, or it's tested on animals, or, you know, it's got some bad reputations about some stuff overseas with workers and stuff like that, like you should definitely research stuff that you're going to be representing, because like, it's not only representing the brand, you're representing yourself and you stand for it.
And who does that? Who does that research or makes that call, mate? Is that you or the company that's looking after you?
Yeah, a bit of both. So they'll say to me, hey mate, do you want to do this? Just maybe they'll say like, hey mate, do you want to do this? However, like, they test on animals. I'm not sure if you're okay with that, but you know, you can make that call yourself or whatever it is, and then I'll just do a bit of research and make the call whether I want to do it. But there's definitely been things that I've had to turn down because I don't think it's a good look, or
yeah,
I don't think that they're ethically operating as a business.
Yeah, fair enough.
Not like the roller door service that you guys do.
Exactly.
Thanks, mate.
Hey guys, sorry to interrupt the podcast, but we have a word from our sponsor. The KRGS Doors Series 2 aluminium roller shutter is perfect for all applications, spanning up to 6 metres wide by 4 metres high in one piece, or with a removable mullion for larger openings. The 75mm interlocking aluminium slat can be solid, perforated or slotted to provide ventilation or vision if required. The Series 2 aluminium roller shutter can be powder coated in standard Dulux range to suit your decor, to either stand out to make a statement or blend in if required. For more information, visit www.krgsdoors.com.au or call 1800 897 822. Now back to the podcast.
Just back on Instagram, how does Amelia feel that you have 50,000 more followers than her?
Mate, we talk about it every single night at dinner, and we compare, what our numbers are every single night. So, no, like at the end of the day, like we don't really care. Like she doesn't, it's not a topic that comes up. If it just does come up, like I'm just sort of joking and bantering with her saying that, I've got 50,000 more people. If we went to war, I'd win because I have 50 more people stand by my side, mate. So, no, we don't it's just a bit of banter. Like it's not really it's not like it keeps her up at night.
In that social media front, and you mentioned before that you're sort of, hey, I don't care. How do you put up? How do you put up with the haters? Because I'm sure there are some out there that'll have pot shots and things like that. How do you put up with the haters?
Yeah, so when I first came off the show, I was never really used to copping hate online because, I'm just a great bloke and all. So no, but but I was never used to it. I was never used to it. So when I came off the show, at first I was kind of getting a bit annoyed, a bit angry, and I was like, what the hell? Like, why is there people just having stabs and, saying he's fake or he's a bully or whatever it is, ridiculous things. And then I kind of realized, there's always, no matter what you do in life, there's always going to be some criticism. You're never going to be able to please everyone. That's with whatever you do.
Yeah.
And I realized these people don't actually matter. Like, why do I care about what some guy in, I don't know, Tasmania thinks that I've never met before, or some guy in Ireland, or, and it just doesn't bother me. I actually find it funny when I read things online where they're taking stabs. I actually don't care at all. Someone could say something so stupid and I don't really care because they're not in my lives. They don't affect my lives. Someone's opinion that I don't even know, I don't care. And the only people that I care about are the people that are in my circle, the people that are my friends or my
around you, mate,
around me that I trust and that actually know me.
They're the ones that are important.
Exactly.
Have you also had to support Amelia through that? Because I'm sure she'd get the same sort of scenario, and it may be tougher for a female, and I don't want to sound sexist, but I'm sure she'd get attacked in that way as well.
Well, females aren't as strong as males. You told me that before the podcast.
That definitely didn't happen. Rock solid. Yeah.
Rock solid you are.
Yeah, I might be that bloke from Tasmania commenting on your next photo quite quietly.
Yeah. No, just kidding. But everyone reacts to it differently. I know some of my mates who've gone, in the public eye who don't take it well, and they get quite anxious when they go outside, or they think people are taking shots at them, whispering stuff. But Amelia's pretty good as well. She's pretty thick-skinned now. We've pretty much seen it all online. It's very rare that someone actually has the balls to say something to you in real life. I've probably only had it less than 10 times if someone said something I don't like you or whatnot. So no one really ever has the balls to say it face to face.
We normally say that every week at training, Mossy. What do you mean?
Yeah. But yeah, she's pretty thick-skinned as well. Sometimes it does get to her a little bit, and I just sort of talk to her and say pretty much what I said before. You don't know these people. Who cares? Does it affect you in a week's time? What these people think? No.
You've never met them. You don't know them.
Yeah, and they don't know you either. They don't know the real
exactly.
you.
They don't know the full story.
So. Just on that, mate, we do have a listener's question from Greg Robinson from Kingsford. He has asked, if you're struggling not going outside and taking your shirt off during the current weather.
Mate, I can take it off inside. Doesn't matter if I'm outside. It can be taken off. I'm allergic to cotton as well, mate. So
allergic to cotton?
I can't have it on for more than a few hours, mate.
Start getting rash and itchy.
Yeah, we've noticed. Don't worry.
I've got a medical. That's signed off by a doctor, mate. So
I was actually surprised on the podcast that you did have a shirt on. So I was
It's a singlet though, so it's a half shirt. I guess. We met in the middle.
It's lucky to be 12 degrees here in Sydney. He's getting around in a singlet.
Yes.
Central heating, mate.
Yeah, perfect.
Just, mate, would there be any other reality TV shows that you would go on?
Yeah, I guess so. I wouldn't do a dating show again, but I would do another reality TV show. It was honestly like, it was so much fun. Like I look back on those memories and like I had so much fun. Like sometimes I'm just on YouTube and I'll just see something pop up from our season and I'll watch it and it brings back such good memories. So yeah, I'll definitely do another reality TV show, depending on what it was.
Have you had any approaches or not?
When I left Love Island, I got an approach from a few people to be like the Bachelor. Like,
really?
Would you throw your hand in the ring to do it? But I was like, I'm in a relationship now.
Yeah.
So but it wasn't anything like you're going to be the Bachelor. It was like, would you be considered to be up to go up to do it? And I was like, I'm in a relationship, so no. But apart from that, like, there's been a little bit of chat about like, I'm a celeb, get me out of here and stuff like that, but nothing ever that actually materialized into anything. But I'll do it. Yeah, I'll do something. It's pretty fun.
I could see you doing Jungle.
Really? How do you reckon I'd go?
I reckon you go all right, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd put the other ones to sleep without a shadow of a doubt. But what about?
Look a bit dodgy though.
I reckon another one, mate, you'd be good at would be Dancing with the Stars.
Really?
Oh, I could see that.
What are you basing this off, mate?
I've seen you, mate, at Coogee Pav. I reckon that'd be you.
You just want more stuff to banter me with.
No, mate. Dancing with the Stars, or yeah.
Oh,
mate, imagine you at Jungle. You'd come out absolutely ripped.
I know, that would be all right, hey?
You'd come,
Living on rice and beans.
Oh, mate, you'd come out absolutely ripped, yeah.
Yeah, maybe I should just do it anyway.
Off season, mate, I reckon that might be the go.
Josh, to finish our podcast, we ask our fast 5 questions just to get to know our guests a little bit better. So the first one is, what would be your last meal?
Oh, last meal. Probably like a Domino's pizza with thick crust, I reckon, and a garlic bread.
Yeah. That was plain and simple.
It's pretty easy. What sort of pizza though, mate? I'll extend from that. Is there any preferred pizza?
Meat lovers, mate. Meat lovers barbecue sauce. You can't go wrong with that. I've never had a bad one.
Tell me something. Amelia's a vegan, isn't she?
Yeah. So she probably wouldn't be happy with me ordering.
I was going to say, how do you go on with the meat? I know. How do you go on? What happens there when you order a pizza and you want meat lovers and she's got to get a vegetarian?
She's fine. Like, as long as I'm not like putting it in her face or anything like that, which sometimes I do to annoy her. But she's sweet. Like I've literally been there and I'm cooking a steak and she's cooking her like vegan stuff in the next pot next to it. It's fine.
Good work.
Just make sure the fat doesn't spit out into her pot, just so it doesn't get mixed. Is that correct?
When she's not looking, mate, I strain the meat over a meal.
Why doesn't that surprise me?
You are going to be in some strife when she listens to this. What's your drink of choice?
Probably a gin and tonic. G&T, mate.
No, do you want to rerun that question, because that's not the sponsored answer? Ain't you supposed to say Johnny Walker?
Oh yeah, fuck.
Mossy, drink of choice.
Johnny Walker, mate, on the rocks. That's how much I love it.
I can edit it all out, mate, so you'll be sweet.
Good sell.
What was the other beer that you were drinking on the beach that you had to promote and the cans actually weren't open?
What was that again? Do you want me to find it? What was that? I copped so much shit for that. I said to Amelia, I go, do you reckon I need to open it? She goes, nah, they can't tell. I was like, all right, fuck it. And then, what is it?
Well, Summersby or something like that, was it?
Gordon's gin.
Gordon's gin and tonic, sitting on the beach there, nice and romantic outlook. Drinking on and the cans weren't open.
How good's this stuff? It was that good you wanted to save it.
Have they asked you back, or can we shit bag them or not?
They haven't asked me back. Maybe because it wasn't open.
Yeah. I remember Cam Terry's comment on that. It was straight up was this is how good it was. They didn't even open the cans.
Nothing gets past any of the touch lads. Like there'll be at least 4 or 5 comments. Like even if I put in my head, I'm gonna make sure there's nothing that they can like banter me with. There's always something they find, and I just can't win.
There's always something.
I know.
You lead with your chin, mate. That's the problem.
Just on that, if you could share a Johnny Walker on the rocks with any world leader, who would it be and why?
Kim Jong-un, mate. I want to have a chat to him about some of the nuclear weapons he's using. I'll be able to sort the world's problems out, mate. Let me in a room with Kim Jong-un and it'll be done. It will be done.
Donald Trump might get you on as an advisor or something, Josh.
I know, mate. I can be like the Dennis Rodman of Australia.
You could be.
You and ScoMo, you reckon?
Minus the dresses. Me and ScoMo, mate. Yeah. He likes ScoMo, doesn't he? Trump or no?
I think so. I think they're...
I think so. He didn't like the other one.
What time is it? Oh, he didn't like Malcolm?
No, he didn't like Malcolm.
He wasn't a fan of Malcolm.
I think they were too much alike, really, him and Malcolm.
Yeah.
So Kim Jong-un, that would be an interesting conversation between two mental giants right there.
I know. He'd probably get too nervous.
Probably would.
Do you think he's got a Josh Moss poster up in the White House in wherever he's from?
Oh, 100%, for sure. All his advisors would too.
Yes.
Does he follow you on? He'd follow you on Insta, wouldn't he?
He does, but he's on a fake account because he's in North Korea, mate.
He hasn't got the blue tick.
No, he hasn't got it yet, mate.
You're an idiot.
Actually, I don't know if you boys remember, I got voted most likely to be Prime Minister in the Love Island villa by the Australian public.
Really?
So, yeah, I did, mate. So
have you thought about politics?
Yeah, mate. I might run 2022.
Yeah. Geez, you'd get the young votes.
That's true. Imagine if I got over the line.
Oh, wow. You'd be Minister for Rorts or something like that, wouldn't you?
It'd be like who's the one that just won the gold Logie that was a Rort that type of thing. Tom Gleeson. Not Tom Gleeson.
Gleeson.
Tom Gleeson. Yeah, it'd be like that type of scenario that you'd get over the line through.
I'd put no tax on roller door businesses, mate.
Sounds good.
You got our vote.
Yeah, you're in.
Vote one, Josh Moss.
Yeah. Call the election.
Yes. Mate, what's your favourite sport to watch?
Favourite sport to watch would probably be rugby league, I reckon. Rugby league. It's so good. On the weekend when there's nothing to do, parking on the couch and just watching a few games back to back. Nothing better. I like the UFC as well, actually. I like the UFC, I like boxing. I like lots of sports, like rugby league. I don't have like a favourite sport. I love all sports, as long as they're fast-paced and like high intensity.
So you're not into lawn bowls, mate?
No lawn bowls, no golf.
What about darts?
No.
Darts, no?
Oh, no. How is that a sport? They're drinking beers and getting pissed and throwing a dart at a wall. What a joke.
Have you seen some of the crowds they get though? What they
massive.
I know. It's bigger than a Roosters home game.
180. And obviously, Mossy Rugby League, you're a Roosters fan?
Yeah, Roosters fan, mate. Since I can remember, Dad's been taking me to the games. It's been a good last 10 years, mate, for the Roosters.
It has been, mate, but you've got the biggest salary cap too. You're working.
Mate, never actually been caught.
You're working at a different salary cap to the rest of us.
Actually, I reckon we might be in trouble this year, to be honest.
Yeah?
I reckon, yeah. I reckon we're going to underachieve this year for sure.
Don't tell Robbo.
You've heard it here first. No, I won't.
Exclusive there. Don't. Mossy said you're out.
I reckon we'll make the top 8.
That'll be in the Daily Mail or something like that in the next couple of days, that quote.
Josh Moss backstabs his own club.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Banished from the eastern suburbs.
Yeah, you won't be allowed in the Leagues Club anymore.
Yeah.
Now, finally, mate, if heaven does exist, what would God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
Mate, have a party when I'm arriving. Hey, I'd be his new advisor. I'd be his right-hand man straight away.
Mate, I've sort of got the same answer to that. I think God would say to me, finally I can have a day off because someone's on my same level can take over for a day.
Wow.
That's good.
I can see you strutting around up there, Mossy, without your shirt off.
Does the sun shines all the time up there, mate? You'd look a treat.
Oh, how good. You get the tanning oil.
Beautiful.
Bondi Sands.
Bondi Sands.
Ka-ching.
Ka-ching.
Hey, cash for comment. There you are.
All good. Mossy, mate, thanks for coming on and having a chat. Mate,
Thanks for having me, boys.
Good luck with all your adventures, both on screen and behind the screen.
Thanks for that, boys.
Hope it all works well for you, mate. Keep up the good work. It's good to have a chat. And, mate, we might catch up another time with Mossy and see how you're progressing.
Appreciate it, boys. Thanks for having me on. I really love that. That was good.
Take care, mate, and look forward to seeing you again.
Thanks, mate.
Yeah,
thanks, Mossy.
Boys. Have a good one.
Take
Cheers,
care.
mate. That wraps up our chat with Josh Moss, reality TV star, who hopefully will be on your screens again shortly. If you have missed any previous episodes of the KRGS Doors podcast, you can download them from our website, www.krgsdoors.com.au/podcasts, or on your favourite podcast player, search KRGS Doors. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button to ensure you don't miss any future episodes. This also boosts our ranking and my ego. The other thing I suggest, if you have enjoyed the podcast, head to your favourite podcast player and leave a review or a rating. On our next episode, we speak to rugby league legend Scott Prince about his playing career, his injuries, and what it was like winning a grand final with the Tigers. I've been your host, Drew Blackman, and you've been fantastic for tuning in today. As always, you could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with us. Thanks. Till next time. The KRGS Doors Show, proudly brought to you by KRGS Doors. For all your shopfront roller shutters, roller grills, folding closures and bifold doors, visit www.krgsdoors.com.au.